What's going on, guys? Welcome back into the channel. We're going to have a quick tips and tricks video here in today's video, and it's going to be how to switch hands as the ball carrier within Madden 23, and this goes back to previous Maddens as well. So in order to switch the hand that the ball is in with your ball carrier, you simply need to press R1 on PlayStation or the right bumper on Xbox. And this has a few different applications. So we got the tip right out of the way early. Make sure you guys hit that like button if you're heading out now. Subscribe to the channel for more tips and tricks videos and comment down below. But I want to talk a little bit in addition about the application of this and the philosophy behind it, because a lot of people I don't see actually utilize this methodology. Realistically, this is meant to protect the ball from your opponent. If you're a person that has a lot of issues with fumbles being caused against you or things of that nature, or you're somebody that just wants to do everything you possibly can to protect the football, you're going to want to consider utilizing the switch hand mechanic for the ball, because this is what ball carriers are taught to do in real life. You want to switch the ball to your off hand, to your hand that is away from the defender that is going to be tackling you. So generally speaking, when we go outside with Najee Harris, like we did on the few previous runs, we're going to want the ball to be in our left hand. The majority of defenders that are attacking us are going to be coming from his right. So in theory, it's going to be more difficult for a defender to punch that ball out, to cause a fumble, to attack that football if we have it held away from them. However, you'll see a little example here with Deontay Johnson where he catches the ball and it goes to his nearest hand. That's where he caught it. So it's going to go into his left hand. However, in a game situation, you're potentially getting hit by a linebacker inside or a safety inside very quickly in a look like this. So a skill that could be helpful for you to develop is to quickly switch that ball to the opposite hand away from the defender that's going to be hitting you. You have to have pretty high awareness as a user player to be able to do this effectively, and you don't want to do it too close to a defender because, much like in real life, if you're trying to switch hands with the ball as you're getting hit, you're going to be more likely for that ball to get popped loose or something like that. So you want to time it appropriately so that you can get that ball into the opposite hand and prevent whatever defender is coming at you from that side having an easy shot at the football. Now, an in-game example or in-practice example for you guys, just to show you how this is actually going to operate on a realistic playing field. This is going to be most effective when you get the ball in the open field. So right here, we're going to dump it down to Najee Harris. And okay, right now, in theory, we're going to get hit from the left side if we keep going to the sideline. So it makes sense to have the ball in our right hand. And what actually will happen a lot of the times is the CPU player will switch hands on their own to where they're trying to keep the ball away from a defender. But what could happen, for example, is we cut back in a different direction. Najee is not automatically going to switch that to his opposite hand every single time. So we want to be aware enough to switch that on our own, because now we put ourselves at a disadvantage tackling wise where they have a clear shot at the football. They're going to have an easier time of potentially ripping that out for a fumble. So we go ahead and switch hands just before the tackle, and that's going to give us a little bit of an advantage, keeping the ball away from the defenders and preventing them from punching it out. One thing to keep in mind here is that I've heard that this can be a little bit glitchy. One thing I want you guys to notice is this defender is on a path for us until we switch our hand on the ball. So whenever we switch to our left hand, it kind of freezes the defender. I don't know if you guys can see that, but he kind of changes his pathing right there as the ball switches hands. So that can be utilized to kind of fake out defenders in a way, to kind of confuse their pathing and things like that. Now, I'm not saying to do this every single time because it does seem to be a little bit cheesy. It seems like something that if you spam it over and over again, you might be able to cheese against especially CPU defenders and get them off their line essentially and get them to take a bad angle to the ball. But something I definitely wanted you guys to know. One thing I also saw whenever I was researching this topic is that whenever you're celebrating a touchdown, and I have not tested this, I mean, I did a very basic test and I did not see much of a difference, but whenever you're celebrating a touchdown, I've heard that if you spam R1 back and forth like that, it helps you to run faster. So I would appreciate if anybody has any more information information on that if they would leave that in the comment section below. But like this, spamming it back and forth supposedly is something that you'll see competitive players do to try to gain an advantage. I don't know that I've seen any particular advantage to it myself other than it potentially messing up the pathing of defenders a little bit, but nonetheless, I did want to put that out there so you guys are aware of it in connection with this topic. But like I said at the beginning of the video, leave all that feedback down below, comment, like, subscribe. I hope that you guys found this useful in some way, and as always, I'll see you guys in the next video, and I hope you have a good one.